Residents in Lusikisiki in the Eastern Cape are up in arms over the removal of their homes by the Ingquza Hill Local Municipality. The municipality says it was enforcing a High Court order to clear unauthorized dwellings on its land. Let's discuss with the Ingquza Hill Municipality Municipal Manager Velile Makedama. Velile, good morning to you and welcome to the program. Tell us a bit about this area and when the municipality says people first started building illegally.
Thank you very much, madam. I greet you, all the viewers at the moment. I'm the municipal manager, as you have mentioned, for Ingquza Hill Local Municipality. The municipality got a court order in 2024, October. The court order was very clear to say everyone who has built or constructed a structure in the land of the municipality must vacate within a period of 10 days. This came after a very long battle between the community and the municipality, which they took us to court in 2018 to say their land belongs to them. But the municipality hired or appointed a land surveyor in court, which begins to explain the coinage of the municipality. A decision in High Court then was taken on the in October 2024, which begins to state very clear the coinage of the municipality. Now, what we've done as a municipality, even in the process of court battles, we've served the people with all court processes, including the court order to those that are affected. To say the court order was very clear to say within 10 days they must vacate, demolish their structures, take their belongings, which then after that, if they didn't do that, the municipality has been given an authority and a right to destroy, demolish, and take all the shacks, containers in town. That is for the land that belongs to the municipality, as well as demolishing houses that are in the municipal land.
Velile, let me come in there for a second, just to quickly understand. I think the area affected is about 2,500 square, well, that's the official record of how big this area is. But you can share with us how big this area is and how many people are affected by this court order.
The area, it's very big. Our community is almost exactly what you have said, Sasas. The area is big because it's just a community of the town. The people that will be affected, we talk about households, I would say we're sitting at about almost 250 properties, including the shacks that are in Lusikisiki and Flagstaff, that has to be demolished, which are in the municipal land. These people constructed these shacks, houses, as well as containers that are in town illegally without approaching the municipality, which makes our town not to be right. This is against the law. All what we can say is that we're doing this process to restore the dignity of our town so that it looks better, so that we can plan as the municipality for the local economic development. The intention, as well as to the viewers, we want to make sure that we develop our town to address the issue of unemployment, poverty and inequality, and we can only do that if we've got sufficient land where we can call upon investors and use the municipal fund to develop our people. So after all this, the next step is for us to present a plan to our community to say that now that the town is cleared, both Lusikisiki and Flagstaff, how do we begin to develop it better for their own benefit? So on what we're doing, we are implementing a court order, which has been also the resolution of council, and we are calling upon everybody to understand that we are not in any way have intention to destroy, kind of hurt people, but we are just implementing a court order. We are calling cooperation across these two towns, and all I can say in Sasas is that people, especially patriotic people from all the provinces, all a country around, they are really behind us to say what we're doing is correct. It's giving the dignity of the town back. It's protecting our people, because there is no town where you can find shacks that are in town, people building illegally in town in the
All right.
municipal land.
Velile, that's why I asked how long this settlement has been in existence. How long had the people been living there? Can you quickly share that with me before I move on to the next question?
Okay. The interim court order, the interim court order was issued in 2018 as well as 2020, where people were requested to get out of the area. In
Yeah, but
2020,
how long had they been living there is my question.
yes, plus minus, I would say plus minus 7 to 8 years.
Okay.
Some of them.
Yeah. So again, looking at it from a bylaw enforcement perspective, the fact that they'd been living there already for almost a decade, when those shacks or those structures and that settlement begun to take root, why did the municipality not intercede then? Why did they not stop it then? Because now you have this problem where people have been left, they built their lives. As you say, there's enterprises involved. More people have come to settle there. You're dealing with, and we saw some picture there that our reporter had shared with us, of buildings that are destroyed. So people's homes, perhaps all that they've had and what they've managed to accrue and put together in there. We're showing those viewers again to those visuals again to our viewers. A life that's just been cut short. We'll talk about the what happens next in just a moment, but we're seeing, many homesteads, many houses just in ruins really today. So the question goes back. This could have all been avoided had the municipality enforced those bylaws at the very beginning. So what went wrong there?
Okay, thank you very much. We have done our best, I must say that. From the beginning, the municipality, what we're doing, or what we usually do, and what we have done, when somebody starts to build or to bring a container in the municipal land, we issue a notice to the person to say, what you are doing is against our bylaw. Please don't continue and pack and go. People continued up until we had to approach the court in order to obtain a court order. We've done our level best. I can say where I'm sitting. We've issued notices to say to them they must not continue to build structures. And on top of that, most of the buildings, especially in Flagstaff, they were constructed even after the interim court order, which were issued, both Lusikisiki and Flagstaff. There are so many properties that were constructed, so many containers that were taken to town, even after the interim court order. Hence, we had to go to the court seeking for the final court order, as well as those which were in contempt of court. And the court granted us the right to demolish. So I'm saying, in all, we have done our level best to prevent people to continue. Some of the land, just to give more facts on it or flesh on it, some of the land that we're talking about is under land claims. Even land claims, before that land had structures, they have consulted communities to say, this land is under land claims. Don't construct, don't build any structure. If you can go there, even now, there are so many structures that we had to demolish because according to the process, land claim cannot issue a title deed to the rightful owners until the land is cleared. So the title deed at the moment belongs to the municipality. Now, with a responsibility to demolish structures to clear the land so that the land claims department will be able to issue title deeds.
Yeah.
And that land, according to the settlement, that land is meant for development, not even to build the buildings for personal use, but to develop our community so that at the end of the day, there is an issue to address the issue of, I would say, inequality, unemployment, which is in our place. So all what we're doing, we are following the law. All what we're doing, we're guided by the law as well as the bylaws of the municipality. But we've done our level best to prevent this to happen. But people continued. There is also one story that I want to mention to you. Where a building of the municipality that was not yet roofed is called a tourism center. One of the residents went to that building, roofed the building. We sent the notices to say, don't do that. This building belongs to the municipality. That person continued. He took us to court. We won in court. He put the windows. He started to stay in the house, connect the electricity illegally. We were to destroy that structure after we got the court, I would say the court order from the High Court to say all structures that are within the community of the municipality must be demolished. So I'm trying to paint the picture and give you the reality that we've done our level best to inform people even before they constructed. We went even to the traditional leaders with a lot of consultation, both Lusikisiki and Flagstaff, calling people to say they must stop. This is the court order, but people continued until we had to demolish.
All right. So as you say, even though this, people have been living there 7 to 8 years, from the very beginning, you're sharing with us that there's been an attempt to stop people from doing so. So effectively, you're saying whatever's happened now is really their own fault. They had noticed that they shouldn't have done this, and nonetheless, they went ahead. You've spoken to us about the need to invest, and this now creates an opportunity to do that investment, which you say is then going to plow back much-needed money and funds back into the community. But what steps now are you going to take to ensure that there isn't going to be further illegal occupation of the land, given that you weren't successful at the very beginning? What are you going to do now to ensure this doesn't happen again?
This is what we're going to do. What we are going to do, we are putting aside a budget, and we are working together with cooperative governance and traditional affairs. We will fence the land after the demolishing. That's one. Secondly, I'm talking about we've got a short-term as well as long-term plan. The short-term plan is to fence the land. That's one. Number two, we're going to appoint what is so-called peace officers or law enforcers in our area so that they can be visible at all the time to make sure that such is not happening, working together with South African Police Services. Thirdly, we're going to call investors in our space as well as government institutions. One of the things that we're going to do is called Container City, especially for hawkers as well as a market for them. So that is the short-term and long-term plan that we have for them. So in other words, at this stage, we are going to present within a period of 2 months to our communities, especially those that are affected, how are we planning to develop the land, because we're busy developing that particular plan, which has to be presented by the mayor to our communities. So that's what we're going to do. We've got a plan in place.
I really hope it's a plan that includes the people that it's intended for, Velile. We've seen, and I've been to many a launch of local enterprise complexes, which are white horses. There's one in Pretoria I went to a few years ago. Nothing's happening there. Car wash, salon, etc. Nothing. There's one in Soweto as well, where hawkers, the actual place itself doesn't conform to what people would need in terms of the size of a store. So that's just the one caution, so that you avoid what we've seen, the creation of white elephants and people making money off the construction. But the building actually is just a waste of taxpayers' money. Where are the people now? If there are 250 structures, and we assume that there are only 4 people per house at minimum, there's 1,000 people in your community that are now displaced or facing displacement. Typically, these court orders would insist that alternative accommodation is provided for them. Was that included in the court order? And if it wasn't, where are all of these families now?
Thank you very much, presenter. The court order does not give any provision for the alternative accommodation. It says people are given 10 days to vacate, as well as if they don't vacate, then we're given a right to demolish. Now, as the institution, because you have said it very correct to say these people were informed, I would say 95% of them, they were aware before they even start to build shacks as well as containers, bring containers in our space. Now, the institution does not have a responsibility as per the court order to provide any alternative accommodation. What we have done, most of these people, I can say, they have got their houses in rural areas. Others, they have got houses which are RDP houses, but they decided to rent those RDP houses. Now, we requested them to go back to them. What we're doing, we are meeting with them constantly. We do have another meeting tomorrow at 1 o'clock, where again we're explaining the court order. Where people are requesting us to give an extra time, more than 10 days, others have given them almost 30 days to say, please pack your bags and look for the place where you're going to stay, because after 30 days, based on the agreement that we have, in other words, we are doing consultation, and we are also in consideration of what exactly we have said, to say at least they must provide their space for themselves, so that at the end of the day, they are not left stranded when we demolish. So that's what we are currently doing as a municipality. We are always in consultation with the affected people all the time. Even the plans that we have, before we present the plan, before we start to even do anything, will be in consultation, because chapter 7 of the Constitution is very clear that in our affairs, we must be always include our communities. Public participation in our institution is always a priority. We don't do things without people who are always involving them in all plans of the municipality.
All right, we leave it there. Ingquza Hill Municipality Municipal Manager there, Velile Makedama.